Welcome to everybody, and thank you for making
it. Has been such a treat to be here with the family for the last few days.
Something of a history of...
I think what I've loved is that we've had top draw theologians explaining things in a way that I felt was quite accessible. Some of it was tough going, but I think on the whole I've learned such a lot, and it feels like I've had wonderful explanations of very dense, complex subjects.
But more generally, let's just have confidence in what we believe.
First time for 10 years that we've had a residential conference. First time we've had lay people in with the clergy, and at a very opportune moment as we try and embed Vision 2026 more fully into the life of the diocese. And that's a focus on making church healthy, so it transforms the wider community, making disciples, being witnesses and growing leaders. All those are really important things, and this conference has helped us focus in on the roots right at the heart of what it is to be a Christian, the mystery of faith, believing it, living it and sharing it.
I think it's been great that lay people have been invited to come to the conference this year. I think the first thing that it's doing for me really is a bit of affirmation. It's affirming the value of lay people as part of the team, and how that represents a sea change in the way in which this diocese is evolving and moving forward.
I went to the Keeping Your Preaching Fresh seminar yesterday. I thought it was a really good opportunity to remain engaged and focused on what's a really important aspect of our ministry, and making sure it continues to have an impact with the churches that we serve.
So therefore, when someone comes, if they're brand new Christians, well, what's this all about? What St James is about? We'll talk about what we believe, who we are, and then some of our values.
Be prepared to give the reason for the hope. In other words, it's not...
What stands out is the talk by Amy or Ewing on apologetics. A thing that I had always thought was about us giving reasons for the hope that we have, but to find out that I can actually ask people questions that are going to draw those answers out and are going to point people to Jesus has been incredibly helpful, and will be of great value in my ministry on the estate. So I'm already thinking through what questions I might ask.
Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first...
As I was approaching the conference, I was praying and looking forward to meeting people. Then 2 weeks ago, I had a sudden sense of actually, what if there was a beautiful sense of the Spirit of God filling us afresh as a community in different ways across different people, calling out those colours from the dust, calling out light where there's been disappointment, and calling out that sense of hope that actually in Lancashire we want to see healthy churches transforming communities, and because we believe in the God who defeated death, that is more than possible.
I think this morning particularly we had some beautiful worship, and there was a piece of music played on the piano afterwards which carried on after some people had left, and I just stayed and prayed, and I was in tears with a sense of the presence of God.
We start each day with morning prayer, but then we kind of head up to the main conference room, and we have some Bible study, which is great to do, although it is quite early, like 9:30 in the morning, but it does set us up for the day, and that then kind of becomes the conversation over coffee, over lunch, and it really sets us and gets our minds stimulated and to think about what we're going to be doing while we're here at the conference. So it's been really great.
From the very first teachings that we have access to in the Christian faith, we find the belief that we still proclaim. But the question of why Jesus died has a number of dimensions.
The conference has been really good for me, just having everybody from across the diocese come together, and there's been a real sense of this is the family, these are the people who are doing the work across the diocese, and I've really enjoyed that, rubbing along, getting to know, and having good chat and fellowship. It's been really, really good. That's been especially good for me.
Be grateful to our speakers through these last 3 days. They have stretched our minds, they've enriched our souls.
We're having a wonderful conference here on the mystery of faith. But when Jesus took the disciples to the top of the mountain of Transfiguration, the most important thing they did was to go back down again to share the good news of the kingdom. And it's the same for us. The most important part of this conference, like any conference or retreat, is going back home to put what we learn into practice. Our first job will be to share our learning and this experience with others, and then together we'll be needing to go out into the world to proclaim to the people of Lancashire the good news of the kingdom, so that we can be healthy churches transforming the communities in which we're set.